one. No, wrong program. Be quiet down the back. Put your laptop away. Do you have maths open on it? So then you don't need your laptop, so put it away. Put it away. Right, so what rules do I need here? Product, quotient, chain. What's the story? What do I need? Product and chain. And product again, actually, because there's really 3 functions there. I think this is where the difficulty is. So can you write this down so I can do it if you call it back to me? X sine, you have this written down, Sarah? Okay, so now we can have a look at it. So what was the function? 1x sine squared 2x, yeah, I know. 2x cubed. Now I'm changing sine squared into this. And the reason I'm doing this is I feel like it'll make it a little bit easier for you to do. Because you have 3 multiplications here. So you need the product rule. But what happens when the product rule is for 3? Well, pretty much the same for 2. The derivative moves along the list. So you start off with 1 sine 2x cubed sine 2x cubed plus x. What rule do I need for this derivative? Chain. So it will be cos 2x cubed times 6, very good, 6x squared. So that will become 6x cubed in the front when you multiply the x's. Now, for the piece at the end, it's going to be exactly the same, isn't it? Because it'll be an x, a sine, and then a derivative of the sine. So you get the same thing again. So all in all, if you wanted to simplify it, it would be this. Sine squared 2x cubed plus 12x cubed cos. Well, I lost a sign somewhere, didn't I? Sorry. I left out a sign. I left out this sign here. Sine 2x cubed. And then plus it again. 6x cubed cos 2x cubed sine 2x cubed. Okay, and simplifying, if I wanted to, I'd get sine 2x cubed plus 12x cubed cos 2x cubed sine 2x cubed. That's as simple as I can really make it. But I don't even need to do that, because he probably said do not simplify. It's not necessary. So I could have stopped after one line. And notice how I multiplied the x and the x squared to make x cubed. Again, I didn't even need to do that. I could have left it as 2 separate terms. So I actually did much more than I was asked to do. Okay, is this okay now? This one, yeah? Alright, so let's have a look at the second one. Ah yes, this one again. So I just need you to write down this cubic here, and then we'll see how many formulas we can make. So it's 2x cubed minus 5x minus 1. I will in a moment. You got the cubic written down? Yep. Okay. So the cubic was x cubed, 2x cubed equals 0. How many formulas does he want? Only 2. Actually, hang on, is this? Yeah, this one's interesting now, because the first time this question came up, I said in my feedback about the exam, I felt it was too difficult. I know when it first came up, they wanted 4 different formulas, and you got 4 marks, which is 1 mark per formula, but you have to do a bit of work to get each formula. So I felt the marks were not appropriate. So you notice this one I think is more appropriate. You get 4 marks for finding 2 formulas, 1 mark for the formula and 1 mark for your effort to find the formula. So Oh, which one can I not use? I can't use the fraction one. Okay. Right, so I can see straight away if I take the 5x and the minus 1 to the right, divide by 2, and then take a cube root. That's one of them. Yeah, what's wrong? Is it the one? Oh, that's bad luck for me. No, it's not actually. It looks similar to it, but it's not. The one they did was they took the 2x and the 1 to the right and divided by 5. What I'll do next is I'll take the x out. I'll take the 1 to the right. So I have 2x cubed minus 5x equal 1. I'll take out an x, so I have x, 2x squared minus 5 equals 1. And then I divide by this one here. So I have my second formula. Oops. There we go. There, 4 marks then for that. It's okay. No Joseph, Al-Baharna, Abanub, Reem, Sadiq, Sayun. Missing anybody else? Curdy, you're missing? Yeah. You don't want to be here, is that it?
No, it's just lost.
I wish I was missing. Alright. Next one now. We want to solve this equation. And remember, when it says general solution, it means we don't have to find what the value of c is. We just leave it as c. So write that down and then we'll solve it. Let's see. No, you're thinking of finding the derivative needs the quotient rule, but this is the opposite. This is antiderivative.
Yes.
Yeah. No, you're right. That is for that case. Okay, so number 3 now. So if you read it back to me, it was dy dx equal to e power 3y over 2x plus 1. Alright, which is the x side and which is the y side? So which is the y side? The left. And which is the x side? The right. So if I take my terms over, I'll get dx over, 2x plus 1. Oh man, one more time. 1 over e 3y dy equals 1 over 2x plus 1 dx. So this is e minus 3y dy equals 2. Somebody tell me, why did I multiply both sides by 2? Kinda, not cancels the right word, but it's to do with the 2x plus 1 for sure. Yeah. On the right, the derivative of 2x plus 1 is? Yeah. No, derivative of 2x plus 1 is 2, which is the top here. When this happens, you have that quick rule that this will be log 2x plus 1 plus c. This is the rule that says if the top is the derivative of the bottom, then when you integrate, the answer will be log of the bottom. If you're not happy with that, the other way to do it, if you wanted to, is by using a substitution. That would be the substitution you'd need. It takes longer to do though. Okay, on the left I get 2e to the minus 3y over minus 3. A little bit of cleaning up to do. E minus 3y equals minus 3 over 2 log 2x plus 1. And in fact, it's perfectly fine if I wanted to keep this as plus c, because remember, all it's doing is standing in place of some constant at the end. So it's not really necessary to also write down 2 over 3c or 3 over 2c. How do I cancel the e? Well, that's with a log. So this is a funny looking one because you get a double log here. Log minus 3 over 2 log 2x plus 1 plus c. And then to finish, finally, you want to divide by the minus 3. So y equals minus 1 over 3 log minus 3 over 2 log 2x plus 1 plus c. Close.
Sorry, I have a question. The first line here.
Up here?
Yeah. 2e to the power of minus 3.
This thing here?
We took the...
I took the... Oh, how did I get this?
Like, how did you get the minus 3?
Yeah, it's the antiderivative of this, yeah. Yep.
How did you know to use y here and x here?
Yeah? Okay. Because the only way I can move the dx is by moving it up to the right. That means...
Not like this way, why did you use?
Why did I use what way?
This method of solving.
Because it is the only method I've taught you. It's the only way to solve this. What other way could you do? Enlighten me.
There was
No, there wasn't. The name of this method is called... What does any... Huh? Ah, no, that's the name of the equation. Yes, yes. But the name of the method actually is called separation of variables. And you're right, the name of this equation is ODE. This is the only method. Sorry.
It is necessary to multiply by 2. I think if you left the half, it would be multiplied by a third. You get the same thing.
I mean, alternative would be to write a half here and a 2 here. But the only way you can use that log trick I showed you is exactly this situation. It has to be this. It can't be anything else.
You left the half in there without adding the 2 to it.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, no. You have a rule in the formula book for this as well. Now usually it's not like this. It's usually a quadratic, something difficult. But you do have a rule in the formula book for this. It is 1 over a log ax plus b. Yeah, so if you wanted to do it this way as well, that's perfectly fine. You get the same answer, you're right. Okay, next one now. Okay, so I need you to write this function down, please. And if you can't see, there's a minus there. That's a minus. What? It's a... I know we had no school on Monday, but I promise you it doesn't feel like that to me. It doesn't. So I have to intake 2 students. They have to derive exam. they have their physics labs, and then you have your maths project I still need to correct, and you have your exam soon, and I worry about you. I worry a lot. I do. Now, you don't believe me, but I do. And there's some people I worry more about. Right, Brendan?
Worry about themselves.
Yes. Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, so here you want the period, the amplitude, and when is it a max? Okay, so what was the function here? Fx, 2 cos.
3x minus 5 or 6.
Right, what's the amplitude here? 2, good. And what's the period? There's a formula for this, do you remember it? It's 2 pi over b, which is 3. And the last thing is, when is it a maximum? Well, that's easy, because how do you find the maximum? What's the thing you do to find a maximum? Derivative equals 0. Yeah? Yeah? Derivative equals 0? What?
Sorry, from where you take?
Yes. Here. This is a formula from semester 1. It was this formula. You remember semester 1? Right, derivative. So what's the derivative here?
Minus.
It'll be minus 2 sine 3x minus pi over 6 times 3. The inside derivative. Chain rule. When will this equal 0? Well, you solve this equation, but it ends up being when 3x minus pi over 6 equals 0. So when 3x equals pi over 6, or when x equals pi over 18. That's one answer. And of course, you know there's a second answer. But how many do they want? No, actually, they didn't specify how many answers they wanted.
Just give them one. It seems as though-
And the marking scheme, it's just this answer, and then next to it, O dot E dot.
O dot E dot? Or equivalent. All right. Yeah, so actually it seems like any single answer will do. Bad question. Don't like. Oh well. Short question, only 3 marks. Okay. Yes? Looks like you're summoning up a question. No? No. Okay. Alright, this one now, we've seen these before. So sine A is 5 over 13. A is acute, find cos 2A. So sine A is 5 over 13. Sorry, what number was this? 5. Sine A is 5 over 13. Therefore, cos A will be plus or minus 12 over 13. And that's using the square root formula. Remember? Now, we draw our circle. Which region am I in? Or which quadrant am I in? I'm in the first one, because he says it's acute. But in fact, I don't think it matters, because the formula for cos 2A, what is it? Cos squared A minus sine squared A, which is 144 over 169 minus 25 over 169, which is 119 over 169. Yeah, all right. So, how many marks for that? 3. Okay.
Sorry, are we going to end correct, Susan? try realism.
Do you want one?
Please.
I could do this. I'm thinking if I want to commit to more of a workload for me. But since I like this class, yes, I'd like to give you a practice test, because I like yous. It'd be my pleasure to give you a practice test. What? Yes, Brendan? Libyan student found dead outside DIFC. Yes. Watch your back. All right, yes.
Hey, there are 3 Libyan students.
That's true. Actually, no, there's 4. A new one started today in PFE. Yep. So they're getting bigger. It's a bigger group. What's your question?
Can I square sine A and then get the cos squared one down and then just minus 1?
Yeah, that's what I did to get the cos. Oh, the cos squared. 1 minus sine squared. Yeah, that's fine too. All right, next now. All right, please write these 2 vectors down. I think this is probably the best section A question so far in this paper because it's 5 marks for finding the angle between these 2 vectors. 5 marks. It is a little much. But still, take what you can get. So 5 marks for this. So the first vector is 2, 3, minus 6, and the second vector is 1, 1, 1. So 2, 3, minus 6, did I say? Dot 1, 1, 1, and then over magnitude 36 and 9 is 49 then, magnitude 3. That's cos theta, which equals 2 plus 3 is 5. Okay, so it would be minus 1 over 7 root 3. So theta is cos inverse minus 1 over 7 root 3. So what's that, please? Calculate. Yeah. Yeah, 5 marks.
There's nothing else.
Nothing else. I mean, find the angle between these 2 vectors. That's it. The other thing they like to ask is find the value of blank that makes these vectors perpendicular. Or what else can you have? The other thing they sometimes say is find the value of blank that makes this vector have a magnitude of whatever. Is the possibilities for a section A. Okay, 7 now. This is a bit interesting. We don't usually get this in section A, but it's not terribly difficult. Let me try to have the notepad open at the same time. Okay. Right, we know the story here. We multiply by the denominator. What number is this? Sorry, 6, 7? 7. We know the story. We multiply by the denominator. So you'll end up with x squared plus 1 equals a, x plus 1, x minus 1, plus b, 2x minus 1, x minus 1, plus c, 2x minus 1, x plus 1. Oh, you can't see it there. I'll zoom out for a moment. Can you see that okay still? Oh yeah, you can. Right, so now we need to choose some values for x. So what will I choose first for x? Let's just say x equals 1. So that means I'll get 2 equal gone. 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2, so 2 equals 2c, so therefore c equals 1. X equal minus 1 next. So I'll get here 2 again. That's gone, that's gone. So this will be minus 2 minus 1 is minus 3. Minus 1 is minus 2. Minus 3 times minus 2 is positive 6. So therefore b equals 1 over 3. And then finally, x equals 0. Oh, actually, that's a better one, a half. Because I can cancel this one, and it gives me the a bit quick, just a little quicker. So x equals a half. So I get a half squared, which is a quarter, plus 1, which is 5 quarters. That's gone and that's gone. A half plus 1 is 1.5, or 3 over 2. A half minus 1 is minus a half. So 3 over 2 times a half, so it'll be minus 3 over 4. So the 4's cancel here, and therefore a will equal minus 5 over 3. I wonder how many marks that was. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, 5 marks for this and 5 marks for the vectors question. Again, 10 marks. That's a grade. That will be the difference between some of you going to the course you want to and not. It's unfortunate there's so many people not here to hear this as well. Do you have any assignment due this week? Chemistry. Today? So I might see Joseph or Abinu. They might appear temporarily. No? Maybe. Okay. So can you write this integration down? It's a substitution, and they give you the substitution.
They always give us a substitution.
Not always. Most of the time they do. I have seen 1 or 2 cases where they haven't. Okay, do you have that noted? Yep. All right. All right. You do. Okay. Right. So it is number 8 now. So it's integrate from 0 to 2
X squared.
square root
Yes. X cubed plus 4 dx.
plus 4 dx. And
U equals
x cubed
yeah.
plus 4. So that means du dx equals 3x squared. So that means dx equals du over 3x squared. So this equals 0 to 2 x squared square root u du over 3x squared equals 1 over 3 square root u du.
What time is student 2?
Didn't go anywhere. I didn't write it yet. Okay, so this equals now 1 over 3 integrate 0 to 2 u power a half du, which equals 1 over 3. Increase the power by 1, divide by the new power. So that becomes, that 2 can come up the top here. So you get 2 over 9 u 3 over 2, 0, 2. Okay, what was the u?
Sorry, for mine, we did the half x.
Which half now? Oh, that?
Yeah.
It's square root. I just rewrote it.
X cubed plus 4.
X cubed plus 4 power 3 over 2, 0 and 2. So I'll put the 2 in first. So 2 cubed is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. So it's 12 power 3 over 2. And then I put the 0 in next. 0 plus 4 is 4. And you take it away. So minus 4, 3 over 2. Now, do they want the exact or the decimal? Decimal. So when you type this in on the calculator, what do you get here?
7.9.
Now when you type this in, did you type it in? Gertie, do you mind typing this in, please? Brendan, you got your calculator? So what I'd like you to do, Hassan, is if you can type the integration in, the original question, to see if your answer matches Gertie's answer. And then we know we have full marks for this in the exam, which is quite useful. Oh, this Libyan student who started today doesn't want to do medicine. Can you believe that? Wants to do engineering. Oh, you'll have to have a word with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. 7.45. And then we see what Hassan gets.
Yes.
7.45.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just do 2 decimal places. Oh, 4.6, you should round it up, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's great, because then in the exam, you know you have 6 marks. Together with those 2 easy 5 marks, that's 16% from 3 section A questions. And then this last one is 6 marks as well.
Sorry.
You need this back here, yeah.
When I do like examples, what do I submit for the X behind it?
The X has a button on the calculator. Yeah. Do you know where you are right now? Yeah. If you show me your calculator, I'll show you how to type it in on the calculator so you can check it out. No, there's an X key on it. Convenient, huh? One question left. 6 marks, which is weird because it's the easiest question in section A and the one with the most marks, which is the statistics question. So again, they give you some data and they ask you some information about the data. So let's have a look. So if you write these numbers down, well, actually I'll just type them in. So what are we looking for? Range, median, and interquartile. Range, median, and interquartile. Okay. Can I... Yeah, okay. 37, 75, 54, 21, 41, 29, 54, 42, 21, 56, 81. Alright, so what do I do with these? Firstly, I sort them. Okay, so the range, what does the range equal? The range.
The 81 minus.
Yes, that's it. It's equal to the biggest minus the smallest. So that's 60. Now the yes?
I looked up the master scheme. I saw that they found the range of without putting it in the order.
Oh yeah, that's okay. But
It's the same thing. Or?
yeah, it's the biggest minus the smallest. You just need to identify which is the biggest number and the smallest number.
Subtract.
The last from the first?
First, yeah. Without putting them in order.
And they didn't get 60?
Yeah.
So are you saying that they did 81 minus 37? 81 minus 37? Oh,
So that
I'm shocked by this news. That's totally wrong. They did 81 minus 37. The marking scheme.
No, it's not. It's 81 minus 21.
Oh, they did use 21.
I'm not saying this exam, it's on exam,
In some other one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's... Well, without seeing the question, I can tell you it's wrong for this one. I'd have to see the question. But the range is the maximum minus the minimum. That's the range then. If you find the question, show me this. Okay. The median. So I have 11 numbers. So the median is the 6th number. Yeah, there's 11 here. So there's the median there. Yeah. So the median equals 42. Now, we need to get the interquartile range, which means we need we asked for the interquartile range. We need the lower and the upper. So there's my lower region. There's my upper region. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the lower is the middle of the 3rd and 4th number here. So the lower would equal this one plus this one divided by 2. And then the upper would equal this one plus this one divided by 2. And so finally, interquartile range is the upper minus the lower.
And the answer is for the lower quartile is 29.
Yep.
And for the upper quartile is 56.
Yep. This is something I've noticed. Remember I said there are 2 methods to calculate in the median, or the quartiles. There's the inclusive method where you include the median, and then the exclusive method where you exclude it. And what disappoints me is that between different exam papers each year, depending on who writes the exam, you'll get maybe one method one year and a different year, but they don't actually say in the question which method to use. So as long as you say at the start of your question, I am using the method that includes the median, I will give you full marks, even if the answer scheme used the other method, because the question did not say which method to use, and they would not say which method to use. So yes, this might be confusing when you're doing revision, but I think the best thing to do would be to stick to one method you learn and use that method, and you'll be fine. Don't try to guess which method or mix up your methods. Just stick to one method, and the one method I use is the method that includes the median. And don't worry, if the answer scheme this year was different, I'll make a note of it in my feedback and I'll give you the marks anyways, okay? So it's not something to worry about. I know you like to worry. Right? Yep. So this is not a thing to worry about. There are other things to worry about. This is not one of them. Okay, so that's the end of that section A. And in the next class after lunch, we'll start on section B.